Greetings. Just here along the Elk River, southwestern Oregon. Take a quick walk through Butler Bar Campground. It's the kind of campground you'll tend to find always ants, free. And like many free campsites, campgrounds, there's not a lot of amenities here. Got a vault toilet over here. Probably can't quite make it out through the bushes. You get yourself a fire ring, picnic table, and that's it. There's about a half dozen sites here. One of them is a walk-in. You have to park up here and walk down near the water, but it's probably the best campsite as far as proximity to the river. It's a very pretty little river here, and it's lovely to be able to camp down next to it. There's sort of a good sunny spot. It's very idyllic, sort of the Shangri-La of all of the sites here. I'm going to take a quick peek here at a would-be amenity. There's not even water here because the old pump has no handle. Normally there would be the pump handle here attached, which would lift this up, and it raises the water column up the tube and then up out of the spigot there. No water today, so until they get that fixed, bring water if you come here. Certainly don't want to be drinking the river water. There's people upstream and who knows what else. You don't want to be drinking somebody's poo water because they decided to not do the right thing and dispose of their waste properly. And you certainly also don't want to be drinking dead deer water in case happens to be something like that upstream as well. And it is, unfortunately, right next to the road, but it's a pretty remote and not very oft-traveled road, about 20 miles from Highway 101, and it's a sketchy road in some places. It's sliding away. There's a lot of downed trees, rock slides, mudslides, rocks in the road. It's a hazardous little road, especially in the winter. And there's a little bridge here, the road that takes you up to some pretty remote woods. Apparently, according to the map, it takes you up to Mount Butler. And you might have noticed this place is named Butler Bar. So named because right down here is the confluence of Butler Creek and the Elk River. And this lovely little gravel bar that forms. And the Elk River is quite a gem. It's quite a treasure. It's a small river. It's very clean, and it seems very clear and very pristine. We'd very much like to keep it that way. These kind of rivers are getting more and more rare these days. So everybody needs to make sure and do their part to watch what they allow to go into the river, because as often said, we all live downstream. And this is some beautiful, beautiful river water here. It's similar to the Smith River in Northern California, this sort of greenishness to it. It's almost emerald and just crystal clear. Magnificent, magnificent water quality. It's so very rare to be able to see the water this clear. Oh my goodness. It's a beautiful January afternoon and having some very incredibly good weather this winter, 2018, 2019. But if you need a free place to camp and you don't mind driving up a crazy, weird, twisty, hazardous canyon road up a river in the middle of nowhere in Oregon, Butler Bar wouldn't be a bad choice. It's rather cold in the winter. Again, snow usually. But it's not a bad little spot. This little row of trees. So lovely. And despite being a warm winter, it is still winter in the northern hemisphere. So we're here after the ants. And we want to thank you very, very much for joining us along the Elk River at Butler Bar Campground.